What is going on, everybody? It's the Front, and we're here for AEW Rampage and SmackDown review for June the 17th, 2022. Before we even get talking about the major elephants in the room. Now, on Wednesday, get a lot of news. McMahon is being investigated by the board of directors on basically having an affair with a former employee of WWE, a paralegal, and paying them out I think it was like $300,000 or $3 million, like $300 million. Keep them quiet. On top of that, Laurinaitis has been added into this whole entire investigation. It's all crazy. And later on that night, after Wednesday night was over, after I finished the review and everything, Raj Giri puts out a tweet on socials saying that he has heard that Sasha Banks is no longer with WWE. She has finally got her release, and everybody under the sun, this one tweet, and ran with it as if it was the. Now I'm not going to sit there and deny Raj. Raj has had some good sources and good news breaks before. We didn't get any confirmation. Go 2 days later and still haven't got any confirmation. Now Russell Rhodes has come out today and said that backstage talk is that Sasha Banks has been in fact released from her contract, which again is not a confirmation by WWE, but of course everyone knows Russell Rhodes has got a pretty much spick and span almost spotless record of their reports. Mercedes has not said anything, WWE has not said anything denying it or confirming it, so we do not know. We probably will not know until they actually do something. And we get to today, this morning, and I wake up and I see all over the socials and everything that Vince McMahon has stepped down or stepped back from his CEO position and chairman position. And Stephanie has been on hiatus and buried by the company as over as CEO and chairwoman. Let's just get this out of the way. This is nothing but a cosmetic change. This is nothing. Vince McMahon, it was the way SmackDown went tonight, began and ended. You could tell that Vince McMahon is still running the fucking show. Stephanie's not going to be doing anything. Just all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, he's recusing himself. No. McMahon is still doing everything. The way the show started, the way the show ended, match that's been announced for SummerSlam coming out of the match of the show tonight. It's all just optical. It's just for optics. That hey, yeah, Vince McMahon's going to back away so he can, so they can work on the investigation. It doesn't overshadow WWE. That's basically all it is. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. The NDAs as well that have been covered that Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis apparently have been making people agree to pretty much keep their mouth shut on all the dealings of Vince McMahon, Johnny Ace, and whoever else they want to. Here's the thing. Everyone knows that Vince McMahon does have the majority power of voting for the board of directors. So basically, they're not going to be able to just get him out easily. However, this, somewhere in here, is going to be a smoking gun. The board of directors are going to look at and is like, well, Vince, we're out. Everything goes, now this could go either way. This could go Vince McMahon, the board of directors find things that Vince McMahon has done that breaches his contract, breaches their rules set out there, their terms of services or whatever you want to go with. And they're within their right to say, Vince, you're gone. Or they're going to do the other thing, and they're going to find all this stuff, all this evidence, and just go, there's nothing here. Vince McMahon's clean as a whistle, and John Laurinaitis will be the fall guy, and Vince McMahon will be back as the CEO of WWE by the end of the year. Going to go either way. As for Sasha Banks, being that she is apparently, her lawyers are trying to get her out of her contract. Probably get rid of that 90 days if they can. Honestly, that would be ever. I see people talking about like, oh, Sasha Banks, oh, she'll quit wrestling. She'll quit wrestling and she'll go be in Hollywood. This woman is passionate about professional wrestling. This woman loves. She is like professional wrestling is in her veins. The minute she is free agent and can go sign with anybody, she's going to go somewhere. Whether it's AEW, Impact Wrestling, Stardom, Tokyo Joshi Pro, or like any of these female all women's promotions. It doesn't matter. NWA, MLW. They just had a women's champion in Taya Valkyrie in MLW, so she can end over there. Obviously, she would probably immediately, as soon as she's able to be free to talk to you, I'm pretty sure Tony Khan's going to be on the phone like, hey, Mercedes, we want you here ASAP. We don't know. If she is absolutely released in WWE, there's no way how no sir she's coming back to WWE. They are losing one of the biggest assets in the women's division. One of the absolute best in the women's division. Somebody they never really appreciated outside of Triple H and his team in NXT. Vince and Bruce and all of his boys did not appreciate Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks was one half of the greatest women's wrestling match in all of WWE's history in Brooklyn when it was Sasha versus Bayley. They have not had a single match top that match. Asuka, yes, had that big, crazy 500 plus or whatever day undefeated streak. None of her matches came close to what they did that night in Brooklyn. This WWE not have Sasha Banks. They always wanted somebody else. They wanted Ronda. They wanted Charlotte. They wanted Becky, Bayley. Hell, Sasha Banks is a 5-time Raw Women's Champion, and the only time she even had every single one of her Raw Women's Championship reigns were very, 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 very short. Only singles championship reign that she had that lasted more than one title defense was the SmackDown Women's Champion. And of course, she is a 3-time tag team champion as well. WWE never gave a shit about the women's tag team championships. So, yeah, she's done everything she can in that company except win a Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania, win Money in the Bank. Not going to get to, well, no, she did main event WrestleMania, my bad. Win Money in the Bank, win the Royal Rumble. That's the only two things Sasha did not get to do. She has done everything else that she can in that company. They're never going to appreciate her. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. She wasn't white, she didn't have big boobs, and she wasn't blonde, so they weren't going to give her the respect or the proper push that she deserved. Even when she had her SmackDown Women's Championship run, was at the expense of her feud with Bayley, that they just wanted to rush through and get done and over with because they didn't give a shit. And his group, did not give a shit about giving us a proper Bayley Sasha Banks battle. She lost Bianca Belair in the first singles main event women's match at WrestleMania. That, of course, was supposed to be Ronda and Becky Lynch, but of course, Charlotte 9000 wanted to complain backstage, so yeah. Also, and she enjoyed that match. She loved that match. If you actually watch this video footage of when Bianca Belair is celebrating winning the championship at WrestleMania last year in 2021, Sasha Banks is on the outside. You know, she's breaking kayfabe. She's breaking character by just smiling because she's so proud in that moment what she was able to accomplish on that night against Bianca Belair. What did they do with Sasha Banks after that? Disappeared. Then when it was supposed to be Sasha Banks was Bianca Belair 2 at SummerSlam, they advertised up until the last fucking second Sasha Banks was supposed to face Bianca Belair, and that match, we were going to get that match. And we didn't. And I don't know, they never really, of course, this is WWE, they never fully told us if it was COVID, whatever it could have been. No, they just, oh no, she's going to be there, and we get to the match, and it's like, oh no, she's not. Oh, here's Carmella. Oh, actually, wait, here's Becky Lynch. She's gonna win the title in 26 seconds. And she had a couple matches facing off against Becky and Bianca Belair for the title, and then after that, did nothing with her. So one day, she's in the ring, wrestling a match. Naomi comes in and says, I'm just going to say this right now. You're looking at your next WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. That was it. And they won the titles. WWE from day, like, when the moment that WWE had said, we're going to make you guys the Tag Team Champions, they had no plans for these. Sasha Banks, when we got to that fateful night where they walked out, they both just said, we've had enough. You don't give a shit. You had us have these big old plans we were supposed to do. It was basically supposed to be Sonya Deville versus Naomi, probably at WrestleMania, and Sasha Banks versus Robot at WrestleMania. But Ronda Rousey came back, and Ronda Rousey takes precedent because she has the bigger name. Even though she's been a detriment to this woman the moment she came back. And can we please get that bitch a mouthpiece? Please. Anyway, they knew they weren't going to be respected anymore, so they took the bullet. They bit the bullet as much as they could, and it just that 6-pack challenge when Naomi was supposed to win to go and be a jobber to Bianca Belair was enough for both of them, and they haven't been seen since. They're gonna like WWE. Here's the thing: Naomi's contract's gonna be supposed to be running out within the next month or so. Sasha Banks is apparently supposed to be running out in the next week or the next few months as well. WWE is not going to touch Naomi. They can try and work something out with Naomi. They're going to get her to come back, and they're going to have that woman back on television. But Sasha Banks, they're not going to let that contract run out. They're going to, unless her lawyers are able to get the 90 days waived, of course WWE would let her go and make her sit out 90 more days. Like, say her contract was to come up at the end of this week, on today. It was supposed to come up today. WWE would fire her on Wednesday and make her wait another 90 fucking days. They are that fucking petty. We'll have to wait and see if we actually get confirmation of Sasha Banks actually being fired. Yes, Raj Giri says it happened. It possibly happened. WrestleVote says it happened. But we need confirmation. And as of now, I have not seen confirmation. But it is I will say this now to all the YouTube content creators out there who ran with this story. It is absolutely irresponsible of you to go and take one tweet, one post, one truth, one reaction, one whatever. I don't care what social media platform you did it on. It is absolutely irresponsible. You go out there and say, oh, Sasha Banks is 100% released, even though it hasn't been confirmed by WWE. Every single one of them. What Culture actually said report instead of saying, oh, she's absolutely gone. What's Culture, Cultaholic, Wrestle Talk, anybody else, if you went out there from the minute that Raj Giri said that we're gonna make a 10-15 minute video off of this one social media post, shame on you. You absolutely destroy all of your credibility, the little bit that you had. We'll find out more as we go along. Let's get into the shows. We start off with Rampage. We had the TBS Championship, Willow Nightingale taking on the champion Jade Cargill, Dante Martin versus Jon Moxley, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, and Max Caster versus the Bear Country and Leon Ruff, and Bobby Fish taking on Darby Allin in events. We started off with Jon Moxley versus Dante Martin. No entrances on YouTube like they've actually been doing over the last few weeks, which is absolutely weird. It's fine. That's fine. So we started the show. We had William Regal on commentary for the match. You had Chris Jericho, Taz, and Excalibur, Jon Moxley, Dante Martin. I'm getting a lot of Darby Allin versus Cody vibes with this Dante Martin beef with Jon Moxley. If you don't remember, back when Cody versus Darby, I think was the very first match. It was one of the first matches Cody had in the company, and I believe they went to a time limit draw. That was the night that Sean Spears took the chair and wrapped it over Cody's head, cut him open, all that shit. So, as that year went on, as the year 2019 and 2020 went on, Darby and Cody faced off, I think, 3 more times. Next two times, Darby Allin got beat by the skin of his teeth. Cody was able to eke out a win. The last time, Cody Rhodes, of course, was the AEW TNT champion, and Cody Rhodes, of course, lost the title to Darby Allin when Darby got that one out by the skin of his teeth. Keep talking about Dante Martin. This is I think the third time these two have wrestled. Is just closer and closer to beating Jon Moxley every single time. Are we going to get that same kind of push? Because Dante Martin, let's just be honest. Darby Allin, Cody Rhodes did not make many people. Cody Rhodes held more people down than he helped make. He ruined Sammy Guevara. He helped start the ruin of Sammy Guevara. He helped ruin the TNT Championship. But helped build up MJF, and he helped build up Darby Allin, and getting that win by the skin of his teeth and then becoming the TNT champion was a perfect spot for Darby Allin at that time, and Darby Allin, with his perseverance, became a much bigger name after that. So, are we going to have this thing where we have a Darby Allin-like build, where eventually on the next meeting or the meeting after that, Dante Martin will beat Jon Moxley? I don't think it's going to be for the NMAEW World Title, because you're not going to do that. It's going to be one of those things where it feels like they keep building it. They talked about how over the time in this match, every single time Darby faces Moxley, he gets closer and closer to beating him. It's the same verbiage they used for Darby versus Cody Rhodes. I'm getting that vibe for this. Now, before the match starts, the bell rings. Darby puts his hand. I'm not. Dante puts his hand out. Moxley looks at it and just slaps it away. Regal explains there's no sportsmanship-like conduct in the Blackpool Combat Club. Excalibur asks Regal about Zack Sabre Jr.'s comments directed at Danielson. Regal says Sabre shouldn't insult Danielson. That was not confirmed tonight, but I think on Wednesday or next Friday we will get the confirmation of Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson at Forbidden Door, which will be a fucking banger of a match. Moxley rounds Martin with a wrist lock. Martin reverses, but Moxley quickly takes control and takes down Martin with a headlock. Martin pushes off Moxley, but runs into a shoulder block. They lock up, and Moxley grabs another headlock and takes down Martin. Martin fights back in his feet, but can't push off Moxley. A second attempt is more successful. Martin goes head scissor takedown. Martin follows with some kicks and a dropkick that sends Moxley retreating to the floor. Martin looks for a springboard dive from the top rope, but Moxley walks away, and Martin calmly springs back to the ring. Moxley gets back to the ring and invites Martin to chop him. Martin takes a few shots, but Moxley then knocks him down with a single chop. Moxley backs Martin into the corner and lands more chops. Martin manages to reverse it in returns with a favor, but Moxley reverses a whip and Martin hits hard into the corner as we go to picture-in-picture break. Back from break, and Moxley puts Martin into the Texas Cloverleaf. That signature hold of Hiroshi Tanahashi, but of course, comes from Dean Malenko. Moxley transitions into a Regal stretch and a front headlock. Moxley lands some knees and a Regal knee for a close 2 count. Moxley goes for the reverse neckbreaker, but Martin pushes him off. Moxley climbs to the second turnbuckle, but Martin rises with the Hurricane Runner, and he goes to the top rope, but Moxley cuts him off. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because this match went a good while. Martin then kicks away at Moxley, but Moxley tries for a Death Rider. Martin escapes, but Moxley hits a cutter. Moxley tries for the follow, but Martin reverses for a 2 count. Moxley hits the big King Kong lariat for a 2 count. He stays in control, hits the mounted elbows, strikes, ties up him into a submission hold, and Martin has no choice but to tap out. Jon Moxley once again beats Dante Martin, but they say again that Dante Martin comes closer and closer every time to beating Jon Moxley. So that verbiage is still there, and it just feels like the next time or the time after that they face off, which is going to be months away, Dante Martin will beat Jon Moxley. I just have a feeling that's where they're going. I'm not saying it for sure, but that just seems like what they're building to, is that Dante Martin is going to get the biggest win of his career at the expense of one Jon Moxley. And I'm sure Jon Moxley, being the ever so unselfish guy that he is going to enjoy putting this boy over when it comes time for it. Moxley bows to Martin in respect, even though Martin is still down and out of the ring. Backstage, Tony Schiavone is with Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. He says he'll give Strickland about 30 seconds to explain why he shouldn't beat his ass. Strickland says this Casino Battle Royal was a single competition and we would have done the same thing. He starts to walk away and Strickland tries to stop him, Starks and Hobbs into them for a moment, then brings the end of the segment. So they're teasing a break between Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, which is absolutely fine. I mean, you don't need to have these two in together much longer. I mean, you really don't. So that is that. Obviously, the feud between Hobbs and Starks and Lee and Swerve is far from over. So there's that. Commercial break. Back to break. They pre-recorded comments from Malachi Black and Penta Oscuro as they will be facing each other on Wednesday night to see who will go to Forbidden Door, which obviously will be Malachi Black because Penta Oscuro is not allowed to work with New Japan Pro Wrestling because of New Japan working with CMLL. I love politics. Back in the ring, Max Caster and Gun Club make their entrance. Caster perhaps he got something to say, but somebody made him sign an NDA, which of course is a riff on NDAs going on with Vince McMahon. Max Caster and Gun Club versus Max Caster and the Ass Boys. This is Bear Country and Leon Ruff. This match was academic. Caster and the Gun Club, Ass Boys, in the Gun Ass Club Boys. Tina is backstage with Hook. She informs us that Hook will face a prospect from New Japan's LA Dojo next week. Probably Clark Connors or one of those guys. He doesn't have much to say. Danhausen enters and says he and Hook will destroy their opponents. Hook finally speaks and says he's got this and walks away. That's all you need. Hook, here's the thing, is Hook can just sit there, look cool, calm, devilishly handsome as possible. Have Danhausen say his words and then Hook say, I got this. Walk out. That's all he's got to say. Nightingale makes her way to the ring. Jade makes her way to the entrance using the money lift, as they call it now, old Cody Vader. TBS Championship match, Willow Nightingale versus Jade Cargill. I didn't see this match. I had to take a piss, so, Willow loses, as you figured. Jade Cargill and Kira Hogan go to post-match attack. Athena's music plays. She enters through the crowd, and she hits the face and onto Kira Hogan, but she gets knocked out by Jade Cargill. Cargill goes for the faded. Statlander runs to the ring, slapping the back of Stokely Hathaway's head, which I thought that was fucking hilarious, by the way. And that runs off Jade Cargill and the crew. Athena loses to Jade Cargill. Statlander beats Jade Cargill. That's the only thing that matters. Jade Cargill loses that all out to Chris Statlander. I don't want to hear any ifs, ands, or buts about it. Pre-recorded comments from Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh. Lethal says they're putting in the work, unlike Samoa Joe, and says they're just getting started. They plug the current lineup to a Forbidden Door. It has been added a winner-take-all three-way tag team title match. IWGP and Ring of Honor tag team titles. FTR versus Jeff Cobb and Gretel Khan versus Roppongi Vice. He also announced that Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi makes his in-ring AEW debut this Wednesday night. Take on Chris Jericho and Lance Archer for Wednesday. That is great. I was wondering, why didn't you just have Tanahashi do a match tonight? Instead of having that other match with Leon Ruff and them, you could have just had Tanahashi take on one of the Bear Bronson, have a nice 5-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute match or something, and then have this match. But hey, I'll take it. Kenny speaks with Darby Allin and Fish. Darby says he'll take out Fish as revenge for Kyle O'Reilly taking out Sting because Kyle O'Reilly took out somebody close to Darby, so Darby's going to take out the person who's closest to Kyle O'Reilly, who is Bobby Fish. Go to the arena. Bobby Fish and Darby Allin follows their entrance come out. Darby Allin apparently gave his skateboard away to a kid in the crowd during Dark Elevation taping, so good on him. So Fish attacks Allin from behind before the bell. Fish goes after Allin's leg with a dragon screw and Allin rolls to the floor. Fish follows him out and rams Allin back first into the ring apron. Fish charges Allin, looks like he's trying to leapfrog him, but Fish clips Allin's leg and Allin spins and crashes to the floor. Allin gets back in the ring and hits a dive to Fish on the floor. Fish recovers to take down Allin in the ring, but he gets sent to the floor again and Allin hits a low suicide dive onto Fish. So match gets closer to the end. Fish throws Allin into steel steps. Fish puts Allin on the ring apron and pounds on his leg. Fish climbs to the top apron and stomps on Allin's back. Fish puts Allin in an ankle lock while both are on the apron. Allen fights out, but Fish hits a German suplex onto the ring apron, and that looked like that fucking hurt. Fish lifts Allen to the top turnbuckle, goes up and hits a super duper avalanche Falcon arrow for a 2 count. Fish immediately grabs the ankle, and Allen reverses that into the Last Supper for the pin and the win. After the match, Fish immediately attacks him, beats him up, falls down Kyle. Kyle starts coming down. He's playing guitar with the chair as he has it. Lights go down, lights come back up, and it's Sting! I had to. Sting is standing there. Kyle rallies, goes for the attack. Sting with the bat to the balls. Tosses the chair into Allen, and then goes over to Kyle and kicks the bat into his balls. Allen then beats up Fish some more, harmonizes his leg with the coffin drop. Sting gets in the ring with Allen, and that. So clearly we're getting Red Dragon versus Sting and Darby Allin very, very soon. Probably going to be, maybe at Blood and Guts. It might be at Blood and Guts because we need more than just Blood and Guts. That may be the first hour is going to be whatever, and then you're going to get Blood and Guts in the second hour. But we need some other matches. We have to find out after what's going on there. Over to SmackDown. Oh my god, this show. What the fuck? First and foremost, anybody who sits there and who sings No Chance in Hell and starts bowing to Vince McMahon, go beat yourself up. What the fuck are you wrong with you? You're part of the fucking problem. You're part of the problem. You people go out there and you kiss this guy's ass. He's under investigation for bribery, hush money. The affair doesn't matter. But it does matter because it's somebody who worked for WWE. If he was fucking the maid or the nanny or something like that, that's one thing. Who gives a shit? But it was somebody who worked for the fucking company. And he's used $3 million or whatever the monetary value was to shut them up. And you're going to go out there and go, no chance in hell, let me bow to this piece of shit, let me kiss his ass. Vince, pull your ass, pull your pants down so I can kiss your fucking wrinkly ass. Fuck all of you. Go the fuck up. He's a piece of shit. Nobody should be cheering this guy. Nobody should be happy to see this guy. He comes out. Says it's a privilege to stand before the WWE fans tonight. He says he's here to remind everyone of the 4 words in the WWE signature that's shown before every program. Then, now, forever, together. Welcome to SmackDown. Tosses the mic and leaves. That was it. That was literally it. So, you mean to tell me that Vince McMahon came out here for that? Not even one full fucking minute. Comes out here, and that was it. I didn't expect any apology or anything like that, but this? You wasted our time for this? Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. There was no point. I know a lot of people, I saw some things about there were some people in the back who were like, Vince McMahon's going to go out there and make this a Vince McMahon versus the world type scenario. Didn't even do that. That I would have understood them being pissed off about, but this is what you brought this old man out for, is him to go out there and be like, I love being in front of the WWE Universe. Then, now, forever, together. Why did you waste our fucking time? Here's the thing. Unless Vince McMahon is going to come out there and say, these allegations are horrible, horrendous, and I am not going to comment them other than this, and whatever, then you go and do that. Give me a fucking break. So dumb. Fade to black, get the full SmackDown intro, and in comes Matt Riddle, who takes the microphone and says he wants to stroll down memory lane. Crosses a video recapping the history with Roman Reigns, starting with RK Bro losing the Tag Team Championship match, even though the history goes back to a couple weeks prior, when they were going to sign for the unification match at WrestleMania Backlash, and then it turned into a triple threat match, a 6-man tag match, with Drew McIntyre. But no, let's not talk about that. He says he's been waiting for a long time for this opportunity. He says all his friends and family are watching at home, so is his best bro, Randy Orton. He says Randy has a big operation coming up, and everyone wishes him the best of luck. He says Randy might be wondering if he'll be able to come back. He says, we miss you. Doesn't care if what kind of shape he is. I love you, bro. Oh, please don't do that. Randy doesn't come back and hit this guy with a super, like a devastating RKO, then you're wasting my fucking time. That Orton has been killing legends for 20 years. He specifically mentions Orton setting up The Undertaker on fire. That one time he says he sacrificed everything to entertain us. So everyone he says, thank you, Randy. And Riddle says tonight he challenges Roman Reigns to an Undisputed Championship match, and he knows everyone is dedicating this match to Orton. He requests they play Orton's music, which they do. He had the Cole McAfee at the announce table, tossed to a video recapping the rivalry between Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. Back to the Madcap makes his ring. He is now hailing from Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is where SmackDown is emanating from, so he gets a nice big old babyface pop. The hometown hero got to go take down the bum-ass Baron Corbin. So we get the match here. The match lasted, I don't know, one commercial break. But I really didn't care. Moss hits 2 punchlines. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win. Grabs the mic and he starts laughing. And that's the payoff to the stipulation. I don't fucking. Backstage, the Street Profits in the locker room. They recap the match we just saw and mentioned Riddle challenge Reigns later. And they mentioned they will challenge the Usos for the tag team titles at Money in the Bank. Back at the announce table, Cole and McAfee are interrupted by Happy Corbin, who has a microphone and says he and McAfee have known each other for a very long time. And he says he keeps hearing McAfee criticize him. Even when he was broke and down in his luck, McAfee was the one to come up with the bomb-ass Baron Corbin line. He coined that phrase. Even when he hit it big, he criticized Baron Corbin. And as McAfee talks about all his losses, he's undeserving of his pirate, and he threatens to drag McAfee. If he doesn't keep his mouth shut, he's going to drag him into the ring and wish he was dead. He drops the mic. McAfee takes his headset off and says he starts a bum-ass Baron Corbin chant. Before Corbin walks out of the arena, he wants the fans to laugh Corbin out of the arena. It's the work up, and they oblige as well. So, obviously, what they're going to be doing, this will be a SummerSlam match, obviously. It's going to be Baron Corbin versus Pat McAfee at SummerSlam because they got nothing else. They got absolutely nothing else. As Corbin is leaving, here comes the New Day as they go on to take on Shanky and Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Federacia. After break, we get a classic SmackDown moment which sees Edge teaming with Hulk Hogan to win the tag team titles in 2002. Get another reminder of Reigns and Riddle's match tonight. Later tonight, Cole and McAfee chat over who last Friday's attack from Natalya on Ronda Rousey. Megan Moran interviews Natalya and says she's going to beat some respect into Rousey at Money in the Bank. Says she proved the sharpshooter is the most dangerous submission move in history. She wants to ask Rousey how it feels, but Rousey isn't here today because she's at home licking her wounds. The sharpshooter breaks bones and rips tendons, and she will be the first woman in history to make Rousey tap out. Back in the arena, Kingston and Woods wait in the ring. Here comes Shanky and Jinder Mahal. This match is basically this. Jinder Mahal wrestles for a bit. Shanky comes in. Shanky is dominant on Kofi Kingston. So Xavier Woods grabs his trombone, starts playing a ditty, a song, whatever you want to call it. Shanky starts getting into it. He starts dancing. Jinder Mahal tags in and says, "Get the fuck out of here. I'll take care of this." Trouble in Paradise. Yeah, Trouble in Paradise 1, 2, 3. That is that. Shanky is still dancing after the match. Mahal is not pleased. That's going to lead to some kind of thing. Get a hype video package for the Viking Raiders, which I'm pretty sure I heard Michael Cole say the former Viking Raiders or something like that, to the tune of, like, these guys aren't going to be the Viking Raiders when they return next week. Back in the main, Drew McIntyre makes his entrance. Cole tells us that Adam Pearce has promised to make a decision on whether McIntyre or Sheamus will qualify for the men's briefcase. So we go to commercial break. Back from break, a reminder of the match again for later tonight. So basically, McIntyre and Sheamus both are in the ring as Sheamus came to the ring, and they both want to be in the match. Basically, one thing leads to another, and they both are put into the match, even though at first it looked like Sheamus was only going to be the man of the match. But, of course, Adam Pearce says, "You're both in the match." We still have to have one man from SmackDown at Raw. Lazy-ass booking. Instead of having these guys have a no-holds-barred or no disqualification match, winner goes to Money in the Bank, they said, "Nope, we're just going to put them both in there." Why didn't you just have both of them fight jobbers or something and get qualified that way? Oh, that's right, you have almost no roster, so you had no choice. He walked up to the door of Roman Reigns' dressing room and clearly is nervous. Kayla Braxton walks up to him and asks him if he spoke the bloodline. Said he hasn't. She wonders if there's any ill will over losing last week. Reigns says no worries because he's an unaware Oos. Had to go to the bathroom and walks away. Back in the arena, Raquel Rodriguez makes her smiley entrance. The pre-recorded promo where Rodriguez says she close to beating Ronda Rousey and wants to get into the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Rodriguez will face Shayna Baszler in a qualifying match, and I missed this match. I literally did. Who just got done? I was gonna go get that. Next thing you know, I come up here and the match is over because my stuff are downstairs. I'm on the top floor of the house. So yeah. Hey, one arm powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. The Chica bomb or whatever they fucking call it. Raquel Rodriguez smiling and looking like a goofball makes it into the match. That leaves either Shotzi or Leah next week for SmackDown and Becky or Asuka for Raw. Got Riddle warming up backstage. Nakamura ducks in to offer a quick word. We go to commercial break. Back from break, we see a spotlight. Cut to the backstage where Max Dupree is with Adam Pearce. He faces disappointment with the lighting setup for his clients. He says this will not do. Pearce will not see his clients until he tightens things up and gives me the presentation that I asked for. AKA, WWE has no idea who the fuck's going to be in the maximum male models, so they have to delay it again. Get a video of Volta winning the Intercontinental Championship from Ricochet last week. Taylor Braxton goes to interview him, but Marcel Bartel takes the mic and says, Volta's victory was inevitable. By the way, this dude has a very great speaking voice. He reminds us that the title was first awarded in South America, and his first title was a French-Canadian. Now he says it was besmirched by Ricochet. He says the title will never be held by an American ever again, and its prestige will be restored. And Volta says, I am the new, and he looks over, title and just has this smile, Intercontinental Champion. Of course, we're going with the foreign heel that refuses to take that the anti-American foreign heel because that thing hasn't been done to death already. This company, I don't know. Back in the arena, Riddle makes his entrance against Roman Reigns. Makes his entrance. I swear, it feels like Roman Reigns got out of the limo at like 9 o'clock. Came in here to get ready. So, we got the match here, and I want to get into this match. I want to love this match. They went about 20 minutes almost. They went 20 minutes for this match. Unfortunately, half of the match was in commercial break. Like, seriously. The match started. We get a commercial break. They come back. We have another, 2 minutes or so. We get another commercial break. Of course, we get the rest of the match after that. I will say, the back half of this match that we actually got to see, Matt Riddle fought his ass off and hit an RKO out of nowhere that looked like he was going to actually pick up the win. But it didn't happen. That was like the best close near fall since Wednesday night against Will Ospreay and Harwood. It's the floating bro. Puts another RKO. Reigns pushes him off. Riddle comes off the ropes. Passes a springboard. Reigns catches him with a spear and gets the pin in the whip. He retains the championship. So the Heyman celebrate with him. Talk about Riddle putting in a great performance. This loss means Riddle cannot challenge for the title as long as he is champion. Gets the mic and says, there's no one left. He says we promised 2 years ago he would back everyone and he was leaving, and that's exactly what he's doing. He tells Minneapolis to acknowledge him. Goes to leave, and here comes Brock Lesnar. Yeah. Randy Orton's hurt. Cody's hurt. Both are going to be out the remainder of 2022. What does WWE do instead of having AJ Styles or Bobby Lashley come out? Let's call in good old Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. Cowboy Brock's here. Puts his hand out to shake Roman Reigns. He has to pat on his chest twice to say, yeah, okay, yeah. Roman goes to shake it. He gets hit with an F5. Usos hit the ring. They get dropped with F5s as well. And the show goes off the air with Brock Lesnar standing tall. That just goes to show you who's still actually running this company, because it sure as hell ain't going to be Stephanie. Vince McMahon is in charge of creative, so this is what we get. Instead of having AJ Styles or Bobby Lashley or literally anybody from Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins or anybody else, go with Brock Lesnar. Match is going to happen at SummerSlam on July 30th. it's going to be Last Man Standing. And the Money in the Bank briefcase holder can come in, cash in, and win the championship. How about that? Rampage was pretty good. You know, short, sweet, to the point, 1 hour show. I miss NXT back in the days when it was an hour long, just like that. SmackDown, obviously you can tell that Vince McMahon is still running the operations because that's just how it is. That is all for your SmackDown and Rampage review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Follow me on Minds at the Frowns Club. Follow me on twitch.tv/TheFrowns Club, and follow me on Instagram at the Frowns Club. And I will see you guys on Monday for Raw. Until then, my name is the Frowns, and I'll see you guys later.